This program is intended for a mature audience. If you are not 18 years old, stop listening and find more age-appropriate content. If you are offended by any content herein, that is your own problem, as you have been warned. Do not try this at home.
Release the Kraken!
Because I am ready, and I will not let this opportunity slip through my fingers. Cup of coffee, man. Wow, man.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Oh, I am enjoying this.
Get on with it!
Welcome to Shots from the Balcony on Bad Habits Network. I am the host, Gary the Hammer. With me today is our resident a-hole, Mr. Rob.
Hello, kids.
And the lead, one of the many leads to Heart Talks 1 of 5. She's like almost a Dragon Ball if you're into that thing, folks. Robin-Paulson.
Woo, woo, woo! Hey there, good to be here.
Folks, if you're just tuning in for the first time, check out our fabulous sponsor at www. Yes, I did that, Rob. www.idealvaporllc.com. It is a vape store. They have all your vaping needs and accessories. Boy, I tell you what, they got vaping and vaping accessories. And great, knowledgeable staff. Fantastic juices adorn their wall. They also have a nice little CBD plus section. Folks, also, I beseech you to check out their live location in Portage, Wisconsin, right there off the main drag. It's actually quite nice. It's right next to a massage parlor, but that's not an endorsement for them. That's an endorsement for Ideal Vapor LLC. They got a pool table, a kiosk where you can sign up to fight for your right to do your bad habits responsibly, as well as a nice little lounge. If you see Jackie, tell her Hammer sent you, and she'll promptly fire you. On the website, use code BHN 15% for 15% off all purchase at checkout. Now, with that resounding paid for play to get out of the way, let us get on to the show. Robin-Paulson, beautiful, as we call her, Mama Robin, in a clubhouse room called Heart Talks. Mama, take it away.
Oh my gosh, well, I am so honored to be here with Bad Habits Network, you and Rob. I am just really excited to see what this is going to entail and how much trouble we can get in talking about our bad habits.
Rob?
Well, I am enjoying a bad habit right now. A little bit of
a little cannabis sativa.
Oh, well, no, not right now. That'll be later. A little bit of rum and root beer, actually.
Well, you are down in Florida. That is the white trash drink of choice.
You can go fuck yourself, sir.
Robin, feel free to just interject at any given moment.
So, I'm just smiling right now going, oh my gosh, this reminds me of drinking Jägermeister, but I'm not drinking Jägermeister yet.
Yet, she says. I like the emphasis on yet.
Oh my gosh. So we used to say Jägermeister, I don't have any in the house, but we put it in the freezer and it would get really chill. And then me and my roommates would say 6 shots and your clothes fall off. I can go there with the rest of it.
Oh, please, I'm curious. I want to start saying these at parties.
Right? Hey, if you do come in with a fair warning, then no one can get their fifis hurt.
Yeah, rule 6.
Let's go with rule 6. Rule 1, rule 6.
Yes, indeed. Hence the reason why we have a disclaimer at the beginning of these shows. Unfortunately for Clubhouse, which is how we're recording this, folks, we did not get a chance to do a disclaimer. I will work on that one later. So if this is your first time in one of these rooms or listening to us, please be advised. Trigger warnings are in effect.
Yeah, we come off very brash. We don't mean to hurt any feelings, but it does happen. So with that being said, if we've triggered you, we've upset you,
please contact us at garbage@thedumpster.com with any of your complaints or grievances.
Okay, there's always that also. Shit, Gary. Holy fuck. I thought I was in kind of a mood today. I guess not.
I'm not in a mood. I'm being a showman, sir.
Yeah, apparently. I was going to say, but then again, I wasn't at work today, so I was good. But I do have a question for you, Robin. I didn't get a chance to ask you this in the last room I was in with you.
Hmm.
Um, what made you be part of this Heart Talk and get with this group of people to start a room to start talking about different things?
Rob, I'm
So
going to ask you to think before you speak next time.
Shut up.
no, so actually, it's my you can blame my daughter, my middle child. Um, she has been bugging me to put myself out in the social media realm, and this app, this vocal app or voice app, came up, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, Mom, the world needs to hear you talk." So I put myself out there and just like playing in the hallways. Okay, so I'm gonna be dead street honest. Well, I'm always, which is can be that could be one of my bad habits.
Rule number 1.
Yeah, own what I say what I own. So I was in rooms and I would, be brave and go up on stage and unmute and feel like I was contributing, and it felt like my shit was like falling like daggum lead balloons. Like literally, I was like, it felt like, what was I doing? What was I thinking? And I just kept doing it, and then ended up becoming a mod in a room and met all these beautiful women that I co-mod with on the Heart Talks, and things happen, and then things happen. So what to create it to be in the most spiraling up light, we just decided to open a room an hour before that show that we were modding and just have conversations, like kind of have coffee together. That's kind of what that's what our goal was. And it morphed incredibly quickly to something more than that. So that was the intention. We were going to meet for coffee in the morning for an hour and then go into the halls of, and so that's why I'm here now. I think like 4 months later, every morning, 5:30 a.m. talking on the on the box.
I think it's actually amazing, to be honest with you. The title of your room, Combos Over Coffee, it's extremely welcoming, right?
Oh,
So my first time listening, I was like, I don't know. And then, the
Your
Combos
first
Over
time
Coffee.
getting pulled into the room, more or less.
Yeah. And then just hearing everybody talk and then contributing and it was an incredibly cool feeling to
yeah.
just be like, wow, this is very welcoming. The title isn't just a title; it is very welcoming, very warm, and very open. Which I think a lot of people, especially in the morning over coffee, whether you're having coffee by yourself or if it's Australia or you work third shift and you decide to have a cocktail or whatever, it's just that camaraderie, group of people together to just talk about anything and everything and just enjoy and love life.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's an incredible thing that you guys are doing, really.
Well,
I,
and I don't know if you have like really invested or exhausted Clubhouse as it is, but there are many rooms that they will tell you, you get up on stage and you have 60 to 90 seconds to do your share. 60 to 90 seconds, do your share. And then if you don't do your share and, get all your stuff out, then I've been muted, or they've like, kind of done the, what is that hook on the stage?
yep. They've given you the
Exit
broom.
stage, right?
Exit
Yeah.
stage left, even.
It was stage left. So one of the things of coming from, and then there's those other rooms that are uber. Oh, let's make $1 million, and
Oh, my goodness. I'm getting tired of those ones, yes.
let's make $1 million. But if we like peel the banana,
Can we get the banana first so we can peel it?
Right.
banana. But if we peel that stuff back, like if you really looked at those humans, like some of them might be living in their car, but they're preaching a thing. So I think part of Hard Talks and what that morning thing is just to unwind and not be under any rules. And when I have parties here, especially when my middle child was in the university and all the university kids were here, we would have talks around the table, talks out on the patio. Like you actually started to have FOMO on which talk did you want to get into? Like we were doing this, I remember my daughter after one of the parties, she's like, "Oh my gosh, I so wanted to be in the middle of your guys' conversation, and I didn't feel like I could leave that one, and that thing." So it was just a place where, for me, I know me, I like to cultivate where everyone feels really seen and heard. I think maybe I was told as a kid to shut up too many times.
Wow, it sounds like she's hung out with us, Rob.
Yeah, just a wee bit.
Right?
And I think that's what allured me to the Heart Talks Convos over coffee, as Rob was saying. In my personal life, for the longest time, I would have coffee with my mother and my aunt. And it happens every now and again. And when I started doing it on a regular, I just wanted to listen to y'all. And I just kept getting pulled up on stage or asked to come up on stage. I'm like, I'm just me. And then somebody read my bio. and then they made me talk about my bio. And then they adopted me because I made some lewd jokes about questionable bacon items or something different.
Something like that.
And then they added me to the back chat. And then all of a sudden I'm acting like a producer when we do these Heart Talks in the morning.
Right. I love it. Okay, so I'll be honest. You pull up, like we'll be talking, and then all of a sudden I'll see, hey, there's the link and what we just were talking about. And so I'm loving that you're sitting there at the Google mindset or whatever that is. I don't know.
It's a rule.
Yeah, it's a rule.
Google that stuff.
Google that stuff. And I love it that I can be as technically unsavviness as I am, and still nobody notices. Or maybe you do, and you just are being really nice.
It's a. Well, how do I put it politely? It's a bad habit I have. If I'm supporting you as a person, Rob can attest this. I will quote unquote back channel him to be like, here's more talking points of what you're saying.
Yeah, I've gotten that more than once.
I love that.
And I've
Gary's
done it.
Not the only one.
No, and I've done it for many other people to the sake of I feel like I might be annoying some people. Like, hey, you're in this room talking about this, and you just quoted made a reference to a Bible quote. Here's the Bible quote, or here's something to this effect, or here's something to this effect. And I've had people ask, hey, how do I pay you for doing this?
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, I'm actually going to be putting a link in our description of how they can actually start to pay me for these things. I believe I'll do it right now on live. If you guys go to bit.ly/hearttalks1, that's how you can start. If you like what you're hearing and you're hearing what you like, and you want to throw us a couple schmeckles, go to that website.
Is that a gold member reference?
No, I don't. Schmeckles is something I think it's Yiddish.
Yiddish, yeah.
It is Yiddish, but
Yiddish is a Jewish and Jewish slang, I believe.
Yeah, if you want to throw a couple coins, I recommend hitting up the bit.ly link, bit.ly/hearttalks. One word, one.
One. Yes. And what we're doing right now, just for any of you guys knowing, Gary is being so kind as to promote that. Our one of our Heart Talks founders is we are really just have been working together to create. We want a car. We want to manifest a car, and so we're just taking it in stride in all ways. $5, $2. $1 million, it'll all go for an incredibly good cause.
Absolutely.
And we have future goals to do things going out in communities and actually doing what we do here on Heart Talks out in the real world someday.
Oh yeah, the Cuddles and Kisses tour will happen, darn it.
Cuddles and kisses.
There's a lot of inside jokes here, folks. If you want to join us every morning during the weekday, Robin, what times do we do the Heart Talk stuff?
So So the morning show is 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, and then on the other parts of the globe, you guys do the math, and it's Monday through Friday, and it goes for a couple hours. The longest we've ever gone, besides the 24-hour ditty, has been 7 hours. But that I remember those two shows. There was some and you guys, you don't have to stay the whole time, but it's so much fun, like I do.
That's a long time.
Bubba, you're not kidding. I do the 4-hour rooms in the morning, and I'm sitting there going, I need a break. Jeez.
Oh my gosh. My daughter goes, Mom, someone should be paying you. Like, what are you doing? It's like, when it hits that 7th hour, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bail. But there's always so much to talk about. There's and there's so many different people. Oh, that's what I was going. Like,
Yes.
The 7-hour room, like in the morning, 5:30, we got Lee and Joni and a few others that come really early. Trisha's right there bright and early, and then through the field, then we get a whole new crowd, and then a whole new conversation, and then we go from vulva, dick bacon, to how to make jerky, to some really deep shares on some traumas, and and I bring my God stuff pops out, and it's not accident because it's just part of me. So I think you, Rob, asked me the other day something, and it's just who I am. So I decided here. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys something that I've never said here on Clubhouse.
Exclusive.
And you guys are all gonna go find it and start cracking up. So several years ago, maybe 4 years ago, I opened up a YouTube page and oh, I know, shut up. And a Facebook of doing these videos. And so my first video I did, I dressed up on my personal Facebook page, my first time doing live. I got in a chicken suit because my intention was I was talking about that I'm kind of chicken to step out and do this. And so I put this chicken suit on, but then I'm doing this live. I can't read because I'm doing it on my phone. I can't read, so I keep walking up to the phone to try to read whoever's talking to me. And all of a sudden I got really hot. My daughter is watching me from her office, and she can all of a sudden see the mama part of me. I'm getting hot. And she was screaming at her computer going, "Do not take the chicken suit off." She's screaming at her computer, "Do not take the chicken suit off." I started unbuttoning it. And then all of a sudden I had this thought in my head. I could just strip and go naked, and that would really just shed my chicken idea out of the mix. But my daughter, she was manifesting don't. It was so funny. As soon as I hit the live button off, my daughter calls me and goes, "Oh my God, Mom, you were going to have a Janet Jackson moment. I knew it. And all I could do was scream and pray that you were not going to get butt naked." And I said, "How could you tell?" She goes, "I know you very well." And
So Robin, inquiring minds want to know what is your YouTube channel name?
Oh, I'm now chagrining that I even said it. Okay, so so I'm gonna go, and if you guys are brave, on my Facebook one, I'm not on my YouTube one, but on the Facebook one, if you go all the way back to 4 years ago, the first one looks like I was totally stoned, but I felt compelled, like I was talking super serious at the camera, and when I went to go relook at it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I need to take this off." And my daughter was so sweet. She goes, "Mom, your first ones, you're just getting used to what this social media," because I'm used to humans. When I was a DJ, oh my gosh, put humans in front of me, you guys. If you think I'm lit up when no one's in the room, oh my gosh, can you imagine when we have people together? Okay, so I feed off the energy of humans, and that doesn't mean like a vampire, but more of
Founder.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought my mic was muted. My bad.
Anyway, so okay, like this is so my chicken nest. So okay, so my manifested that that thing. It's called Mama Heart, MOMMAHEART, and I have some lives. And I dressed up in the very early beginnings. I dressed up in costumes and had conversations or whatever. And then my YouTube channel is the same thing, just Mama Heart. And there's hardly any viewers on my YouTube.
Oh, there will be. There will be tens and tens of viewers now.
Yes, there will be.
I have never.
Oh my God, Rob! Rob, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. And the dog did too. She's wearing a Robin suit in front of a cactus.
Oh God, I think I love you more now, Robin.
Wait, okay, that Robin suit, that was the day that we were having the, I don't know if I'm holding my husband's welding hat.
Yep.
Because, yeah. So that was
that maniacal laughter brought to you in part by
so that was
YouTube.
That was the day that they were having the solar eclipse. So I decided to go out and show people how to do a solar eclipse the right way in a Robin, because Batman and Robin, yeah, yeah. But Gary, and you're going to take some time. So it's like 4 years of videos.
Oh, it's great.
All the way back. Like one time I was in a, oh my gosh, now I'm dying that I even told you. So my bad
Welcome to Bad Habits Network.
But there's some, and this is the beautiful thing, and this is kind of how I would roll. I started out just videoing it, and not doing lives, only because my daughter was afraid some things would come out that might be inappropriate, and I never edit because I really don't know what edit means. I mean, I don't have that technical savviness.
You're actually speaking my language, but it's only because I'm lazy.
Oh, I just do it. So I just, that's what I do. I just go by the seat of my pants. I say whatever I feel. I would ask God if there's something, give me a divine download. And what was beautiful is in the back channel, or the, people would message me, oh my gosh, how did you know that's what I was thinking? Or how, so I felt like it felt like these little sweet moments of there's a reason why I'm doing it, even if it's to help one person. And I think that video, the very first one, was because years ago I had the dream of me standing in front of thousands of women, and all their mouths were dropped, and I remember calling it a nightmare. And then through the years, I've realized if I just help one woman at a time, I thought that crowd was eventually all the women that I spoke to, because usually I really go deep with people and kind of shock them. Some of my stuff is shock therapy. Anyway. So,
No, we can embrace the shock, definitely.
Yeah. Well, because, like now, so vulva and all that stuff.
Oh, today's episode of Heart Talks.
Yeah, today's episode of Heart Talks. So I come from a Christian background. I was raised Christianity, and what I always would say is, and God has a sense of humor, because then there's Robin, and
Rob.
Robin and Rob. There you go. So what's interesting is I've been we were in places when I'd be talking to married women, so that would then be legal in the line of the church, and I'm talking to them about, like sexually pleasing, being able to have sexual pleasure, and one of the largest organs, I believe, for a woman is their brain. And when you can release a lot of the shit up there, you can actually wake up your vagina and your vulva, and all that stuff comes alive because your brain is actually on target. And I've had other elderly, or the elder women, come and pull me from the groupings and say that I'm going against scripture. And I would go, no, God wants us to have the bombinest sex and the most fun. And shame on us for not being real with that. So
Right.
that's how I feel. Okay.
It's kind of like what Ben Franklin said. If God didn't want us to be happy, he wouldn't have allowed us to create beer. Come on, guys.
Right?
Or rum.
Oh, yeah.
Why is the rum always gone?
Because you, Rob.
Well, you're not completely wrong. Nor right. But, yeah.
And you guys, I don't have to drink, and I'm just like this all the time. I've been in places where everyone is drinking, or, they think I'm drunk, and my husband's like, nope, she hasn't anything. She is that way all the time.
Again, to remind our listeners, Rob and I cannot go out in public for many reasons, drinking or not.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Let me put more emphasis on Rob and I cannot go into public together.
Except for work, but then again, in just public period.
To be fair, work even reminds us that HR is on site.
Yeah, always.
Yeah. Can you imagine? This was me, and I was a church secretary, too.
I think that just made things even better.
I'm being totally dead serious.
That's fantastic.
I was a homeschool secretary for a homeschool group for years, and then I was a church secretary. But then when I asked him if I could make my hair purple, because my hair used to be white, and I've always just played with my hair, they kind of said, oh, no, but I read the HR. So you brought up HR. So I read the HR book from cover to cover, and it didn't say anything about purple hair at all. So I went to them and I said, hey, I want to make my hair purple. And they were like, oh, no. And I said, well, in the HR book, there's nothing in the book. So I kind of I love to take people's rules and put them back in their face in the nicest way. And then because they knew it wasn't in the book and there were other people with other color hair, they couldn't say no dyed hair. Like Disneyland has in their ditty, in their stuff, no dyed hair that's not considered a normal hair color. But they didn't have that in the HR, which I'm sure now it is. And probably a year later, I never had any infractions. I do type really fast. I did all my work. I'm really good at what I do pretty much everywhere. It's nauseating to some people. But the 2 days after I got let go due to the economic downturn, quasi or quote, I wasn't married to any of the pastors or related to them.
So in this case, folks, even in Christianity in certain aspects, it's not who you know, it's who you... I'll let your guys' mind finish that one because I don't really like picking on the church too much right now.
And I'm not picking because I love...
Oh, I am!
Okay, cool. But 3 days later, my hair was purple, and I think it's been 11, 12 years that I've been still roaming with purple hair, so... It's all good. Everything is good.
So, folks, if you're just tuning in, robin-paulson is an energy coach, jewelry designer, artist, teacher. I don't know how to put this into the grammatic explanation, but she studies and celebrates lapidary, and she's a speaker. Rob, I know you have some questions on some of those.
And I'm a life coach, too. But
life coach, yes. Life coach and light coach. Because if you're an energy coach, you have to be a light coach because light is energy. Yeah. Aha!
Energy. And I love to... Go ahead, Rob.
I have questions on all of those. Curious.
Cool.
What was the you said lapidary?
Lapidary.
What? Lapidary. Yeah. Okay, please divulge on that a little bit.
Yeah,
I am actually in the dark.
It's actually a bad habit if you think about it.
Oh my gosh, it's actually super addictive.
See?
So that yep. I've actually warned people when they come to our lapidary program. I will say, I honestly, I go, hey, this is addictive. So, be careful if you want to. It is hunt, find, and grind. We go all over the world. We collect rocks. We make things out of them. We exhibit them. And we have an entire lapidary program it's now in Pomona. under the umbrella right now of the Pomona Unified School District in Southern California. And if you guys come out on a Tuesday, you could be my guest the first time. Otherwise, then I'll have to charge your ass. And and we have
This chick ain't free, folks.
this stuff ain't free. Hey, I throw this stuff out for free all the time.
Yes, you
when
do.
you come to Lapidary, y'all got to pay, if you like it and you want to come back. But we have all the equipment for flat lapping, sphere making, fabricating. We have all the grinders to make cabs and things ready for jewelry. And then I have been teaching for 28 years.
Holy crap.
Every Tuesday, except through the pandemic, I teach wire wrapping. So I take the beautiful things that my family has made, and then I wrap them into rings, brooches, earrings, bracelets, all the, jewelry to hang and wear. And years ago, like probably 27 years ago, this guy who's a fabricator. And so fabricating is where you take the metal, the sterling silver, and you fabricate it, pound it out. My husband makes beautiful stuff fabricating. And I call that real jewelry. But the guy who was the fabricator back then called me wire crap. Oh, he goes, oh, there's Robin. She does wire crapping.
Wow.
And yeah, right. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But I've sold some of my pieces for hundreds of dollars. So there's that crap for you. There you go with that.
Yeah, it's high-end crap, dumbass.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so my husband, like, he'll get into one stone. Like, he was into opals, so I have like trays of opals he's made. Then he was into tourmaline, and then he was into malachite, and then now it's been turquoise. So one time, because I have a tendency when people like what I have on, I just kind of give it to them. I'm like a giver like that. And so I come home and he's like, "Where's your piece?" And I said, "Oh, that so and so. I can't remember who I gave it to. Liked it." And he goes, "Honey, the next time you want to give an $800 piece of turquoise to her, could you call me and I'll graciously say, don't."
Jeez.
Honey,
No.
that's an electric bill.
But that's also being that gracious, grateful, giving person you are.
And I told him, I said, "Dude, the next time and I wire wrap a piece for me, tell me that piece is like, a $400 piece instead of, here, honey, do you want to wrap that and wear it around your neck?"
I feel so great now that I've only spent like $40 on both the kids when we do this. Oh my God.
I know. Some of the stuff we work with are like some of the opals. Like, we've got some opals he's made so I tell people, am I talking too much, you guys?
No, ma'am.
Okay, cool.
God, no. Keep going.
So check it out. I say to people, so we've been together 31 years. I'm so blessed with this human. And some days, it's not, but for the most part,
$800 of donations, yes.
right? But I tell people that God gave him talents and not me, because if the talents that he has, if I had them, I would be on a freaking mountain telling everyone how wonderful I was.
So the glorious creator gave you a purpose. You're his hype person.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Absolutely. When we were in Israel, deciding we wanted to make a business, a heating and air conditioning company, the guy who we were talking to, he owned like several businesses. He was doing this, he looked at my husband, he goes, "You'll be the worker. She will be the mouthpiece." Like, she will. And I kind of got offended. I'm like, what does he mean? And then he goes, "Look at me, Robin. Your husband is great." And Jay, like, if he was in the room, you guys could get him to talk. He's very funny too.
I think he'd just be sitting there nodding his head in agreement with a lot of stuff you're saying.
He does. But okay, so this is a funny thing. When we're together, he talks more than I do.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, he talks more than I do. So,
Huh.
and my kids all know that because Jay's super comfortable with me, and
Oh.
in the 31 years. So when I met him a long time ago, um, he had beautiful blue eyes and a pretty penis, but I didn't meet that for a while.
Well, there's always that. That's a happy little bonus.
I love your mind and your wiener.
But I didn't meet that for months and months. Okay, so I actually held out for a very long time because that was the stage I was in. But I just thought I'd throw that in because we're in bad habits and I can say something silly like that.
Oh, go nuts. We haven't had an episode we've had to shut down yet.
Yes, right? Okay.
Oh, wait.
Cool.
Wait, we've had one. Never mind. I retract that statement.
Just one, but that was a happy little mistake also. That was one of the best nights of my life.
No, Rob, not that one.
Damn it, which one?
The one where the guest actually stood up and passed out.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, never try to challenge Hammer to a drinking contest, apparently.
Yeah, well, yeah, a lot of us will lose.
Yeah.
That is so funny. I don't even know where the story was going.
No, my apologies for the tangent.
No. It's awesome because I was thinking of how many. I don't know if I've ever stood up to pass out, but
no, this guy didn't have a choice.
Gravity was definitely working against him that night,
as well as sobriety.
There you go. But yeah, so Jay's really talented. Yes. But when I met him, he was probably a little bit more quiet, but he felt very comfortable with me. He was actually drawn to me. So you guys want to know how we met? Like, do you want me to tell you? I was popping down oysters. Yeah. Okay, so I was a nightclub DJ, and I'm doing it on the radio. People are going to hear this. Okay, so my kids don't even know this story. So great.
Buckle in, little children.
Buckle in, children's. So it was back when I was a nightclub DJ, and I never dated anyone that came to my club. I just had a very line about that. But it was a Monday Night Football. I used to run Monday Night Football, even though I was the DJ for the party night. Monday nights, I wanted to make it fun, and if I was there, then I would get chicks there. Then the guys would have more fun, and then Monday night would roll all the way to 2 a.m. Most of the other clubs that did Monday Night Football, as soon as the game was over, the clubs died. So I had this inventive idea to do this fun stuff, make it fun, make chicks there. And so we had all this really good food. We were always doing oyster shooters. And because I was behind the DJ booth and the food was right in front of me, I would walk over and I would grab an oyster and just pop it. Well, he is like right off of the side of my DJ booth staring at me. And he had beautiful blue eyes, by the way. And he was so cute. He said, "Hey, could I buy you an oyster shooter?" As he's watching me pop them down like, banana peels. So I looked at him and I said, "Only if you'll take one with me." So he bought oyster shooters, and so he popped it down. He had never done that before, so that was making him. And this is what he says, future, like, a year or two later. He goes, "When I met you and saw you were popping down oysters, all I could think of was, she's a good, like, I want to get to know her." So there you have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to pardon my ignorance. What the hell is an oyster shooter?
Okay, so an oyster shooter is you put a whole oyster in a shot glass, and then you pour some of the cocktail sauce, a sprig of lime, and then you pound it down like a shot.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that, actually.
Neither do the women that do it.
Set up and spike.
So, okay, so you guys were hearing way more than I thought I was going to share, but that's cool.
We have that ability on people, I guess.
Right. And actually, I'm just that way. That's how I roll. And usually, Heart Talks is usually not about me, so I don't really talk about myself a lot, like as much as I'm talking about myself right now.
Well, and that's another reason why I dare I say, stepped up to the plate and said, "Hey, I want to interview you."
Okay.
Well, definitely. We like I said earlier, the your rooms that you've hosted and that you're part of are very revealing for myself and others.
Mhm.
And just getting to know that side of you and why and what makes you you really humanizes you, if you will, right?
Yeah.
You could just be anybody out there in the world, and I don't know you from, Adam
Beans.
or Eve, really.
Yeah.
But your stories, your life, how you met your husband, how your YouTube video, it makes you more of a person, more relatable. So it's
Right.
something that, like I said, it humanizes you. It makes you more real. I know you're real, but it makes you more real to me and other listeners because we're getting to know you a little bit more.
Oh, that's cool. Cool. Yeah, I love. I was just talking to my daughter earlier today, telling her what I was going to do, and I love it that my kids have been so supportive. All who I am, um, and while they see me as just their mom, a lot of people see me, as wild or just very out there, and but I'm kind of, so this is how I describe myself. I describe myself as very down to earth. That's how I see me
Oh
with the
boy.
flaming purple mohawk.
You definitely are very down to earth in my eyes, and you just said others might see you as wild or whatever, and that was one of my comments to you the other day when I asked you your question about the Christianity and like when you found that, because hearing some of the stories that you would share, it's like, okay, your life and the way you talk kind of resonate with me because I'm kind of unfiltered. I'm unfiltered more in a swearing, unbiased, dirty way, but it still resonated with me. So I was just kind of curious on when when you found that Christianity, and then to hear that you've had it your whole life, but you view God and you view religion in the same exact manner that I do. I was like, holy shit. It's like I'm not alone in that on how we view how God views our lives. So it was just an amazing thing, and that's why I wanted to ask you that because I did see you and I pictured you as in your youth or your younger years very wild and uncontrollable, if you will. So it was like I got to ask you this question.
Yeah, yeah. And the beautiful thing is, if people actually had a, a an understanding that we're just a spiritual being in a human form. I feel I'm more spirit than I'm human. Um, and I just get to live out this life in an incredibly flawed system. And that it's not a joke. It's not a dress rehearsal. Like what we are doing on this planet at this time, like our words matter, our actions matter, how I choose to love others matter, how I choose to love me. And even though God allowed all the trauma, and that's when people find out, especially when I lived in New York and I started that incest survivors group, they
Wait, what?
couldn't, huh?
What group? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, that's cool, cool. When I lived in New York in Ozone Park, and my eldest, who's now 43, he was at PS 64, and I love New York. Um, and I met some women who I have a way, so I've always had this way, like I just talked. This woman gave me a ride, and I made a comment about being a survivor of incest. She, like, almost just took a gasp, and she said, "Will you come to my house and have tea?" So I'm going to a strange woman's house, but I never feel like anyone's a stranger, but you don't know them really. Anyway, in she was much older than me, and she said, in all these 40 years of her trauma, no one had ever just said it out loud, like, I'm an incest survivor. And so the first time she picks up a stranger, I say the words, and then in her living room while we're having tea, she got to share what had been locked inside of her for 40 years. And I can look back now and go, I have no idea why I said that to her, except I feel it was an ordained moment to speak into a person. And so that kind of put me on a trajectory that I started founding a nonprofit incest survivors group there. But my point was going to, because I have a lot of joy, they were like, are you sure you were victimized? Because you have so much joy. But by that time, my son was 7. Well, how old are you in kindergarten? 5, 6?
5
Maybe
or 6, yeah.
Yeah, 5. I had already been working on the processes of healing like a good decade, so there was already the decade of process that I had been doing, and hence, continued to do through the years. But yeah, that's kind of how I roll, that kind of just a way unhinged human soul that I am.
Right.
I will be with someone and then say something, or like some of my wonky videos that I would get off the thing and go, oh my God, I was so like, I can't believe I did that. And then I would get this message, or someone would call me like, oh my gosh, Robin, whatever, I totally needed to hear that. So,
well, if I may, you actually did do that human unhinging with me as well, if I can relate to this. When I was invited up on your stage to talk, I was in quiet dad mode, or shy dad mode, as I call it, quiet dad mode, as our friend Trisha would call it. And then it was like you guys got to know me, and it was like, oh wait, I got so many questions for this guy, and it's like, I didn't intend for this to happen. I don't know what to do. Shy dad mode activate. And you guys have actually got the shy dad mode to not be very present unless my tiny humans are present, actually. Or as one of our other friends, Justine, says, it's going to be interesting when Gary says, oh boy.
Right?
Or he growls.
No, hey, Rob, they don't know that one yet.
They haven't met the growler yet.
Yeah,
no. You don't want to.
No, it's not good.
No, it's not. It's not pretty.
It's not good. Knife
you
hands.
growled one time around me, and that was when me and the X were together, and we were down in the basement doing that one show.
Oh, and everything kept on going wrong, and everyone kept on fucking with me, and then I don't like that one.
Oh God, that was epic, and it was such a funny fucking night too.
Yeah, dude, did you just growl? I don't know, did I?
Yeah, did you just lick your shoe?
Did I mean to do that? Did I mean to?
This
Flashbacks.
I think the episode title is Lick the no Lick the Chode.
Lick the Chode, or is that bubble gum? I can't remember which.
It was Lick the Chode because we had special guest makeup effects artist Willis Thompson on, and he witnessed Keebler try to salvage the rum that he spilled on his pants and almost fall off the couch trying to lick his perineum.
Yeah, and then I had to drive him home. That was interesting.
Oh my gosh! So you guys have been doing it in the basement for a long time, eh?
We've one phrasing, and two. Actually, this started in the loft bedroom of my current house, and then we moved
it started in your loft. And
yes.
Then it went down to the one bedroom, and then it went down to the basement.
Yeah, because we had more space in the basement and better sound quality.
Yeah. And then, so we did one show.
Oh, yeah,
on
location.
My old house.
Yes. Rob, I'll interrupt. The studio is multifaceted and mobile. I could actually put this thing on a plane and take it out to, say, sunny California or Grand Dallas, Texas, or even New York somewhere, and just upload the studio and start recording.
Oh, awesome.
If there's something I am giftedly weird at is jerry-rigging things to be more accommodable for our needs.
Yeah.
I love that. That is so awesome. Well, I remember you in the audience, and I have this like knack of just constantly pinging people. Hey, do you want to come up? Do you want to come up?
And yeah.
And nobody has ever back channeled me and said, Robin, stop. So, I still do it because that's kind of how I am at my house or when I'm anywhere. This is one of the reasons why I am what I am is because I always felt like maybe I'm kind of different. Um, Sometimes people might not have accepted me or that might have happened. Um, I want to make sure people feel accepted from me in my space, and I want to create that seen and heard. Like if I'm at a group event and I know a bunch of people, and before COVID, you could hug all these people. I've been at events where like
Please.
down the line, hug, 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 and then would come to me. They would walk around me and then hug the very next person, and those things really hurt. Like
Yes.
I felt, I mean, it just was hurt. They wouldn't even like eye contact. They just hug, hug, hug all the people to my right, and then go walk around me, hug, hug, hug everyone to the left. And so I remember that happened a few times, and I just thought, the one thing that if I can learn the pain, like acknowledge pain and deal with it, and not mull it over to where I become resentful, but then never recreate that for someone else. That's kind of my mode of operation, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
And so even on this voice app, I kind of want to hug everyone and make them feel, not make them, I want to allow them to feel seen and heard, that even if they'd never come up from the lounge.
And you do that, and it has its pluses and it has its minuses. And if one of our favorite Care Bears is in the room, it provides golden opportunities for comedy with him.
Oh my gosh!
As well as our favorite, I don't want to call her fellow purple haired because I think she changed the color again recently. But we call her on Bad Habits Network. We call her the Voice. She has been back channeling me this whole time, going, "You idiot! You should call the perineum the Devil's Gateway, or the Devil's Driveway." So I had to share that nugget. I had to mute my mic because I was laughing so hard at that one, and. Yes, and the back channel has been eating me up a bit in the Heart Talks back channel because I can only use WhatsApp while I'm doing this because I'm using an old version of Club Deck and I don't get the back channel chats via Clubhouse.
Oh. Hey, nobody's back channeling me, so then
Well,
I must have been okay.
Couple compliments from an invited guest. Okay, let me backstory this one, folks. After I finish this. Robin is one of the 7 Dragon Balls.
7?
Yes, there's 7 Dragon Balls, and when you get them all together, you can summon the dragon Shenron and make your wish.
Yes.
Any wish. So
Yes.
Heart Talks. This is one of the, I believe, founding co-members. This was from Nina.
Oh, okay, cool, yeah.
Yes, and she's on an invite, and I want to, like I said, Robin, I had to be like, hey, I want you first on there because you were the one who got me out of the dad shell.
I did.
And I felt it as well as you're kind of like the Metatron, the big voice of Heart Talks.
Is it? I feel that I'm not, but
everyone, I swear, it's of everyone. I feel everyone just looks at you, A, because you're talking all the time, or B, because you know how to command the attention.
Okay, that is true. I have this magic where I can be in places where nobody knows me at all, and I can just make my voice really loud and tell everyone, hey, everyone, let's do this. And all of a sudden, people are doing it. Like
laugh yoga.
Like laughter yoga. But we've been, like, we were at a concert. We were in a bowl, like, where people are super snooty and, like, uptight. And I stood up and said, hey, let's everyone do this. And my voice, I do have a voice I can carry. Even a friend of mine, he's very deaf, and he can hear me always. His wife says it's selective, but I've loved this man, Mr. Bidwick. He's part of the Lapidary program. I love him to pieces. So I do have a voice that I know I might not like hearing my voice. I think my voice doesn't sound great.
Well, I know what episode of Bad Habits Network you're probably not going to listen to.
Mine? When I hear it, I feel like it's like this whiny thing. Anyway, but I know that I have a way, and I don't really know what the magic is about me, but I make people. I can cultivate people to do stuff that they never thought they would do. And I've had people come to me years later and say, that time, like it's still printed in their brain. Like, remember that time you did this? And I'm going, oh my gosh, like I do stuff all the time. But they're like, no, you have to hear me. I never do this. And you got me to go sing karaoke or do this or jump out of the plane or bungee jumping. I got people to bungee jump that were deathly afraid of heights.
Yes.
Yeah, I just have that way. In fact, my husband, I don't know, we weren't married. I'm guest DJing at another club, and he came, and I needed to go in the back and talk to the management or something, and I talked him into singing karaoke. I heard it through the grapevine, which is about a 6-minute song.
Oh no.
I didn't tell him. I said, "Hey, do you want to sing?" He said, I'll pick this. And I looked how long it was. I'm like, great, I can go to the back. So he's singing, and all of a sudden his, girlfriend, who's his support system, goes back. And so all he could say for like a week later is, "You asked me to sing and then you left me." So he's grown a lot from then.
Sounds like what I do to half of my staff in the studio.
Right?
Keep talking.
Keep talking. Yeah. No, I do remember. I believe it's been a beautiful thing these 6 months or something. I came in February, I think, and even like in my Mama Heart videos, like in the beginning, I looked like a goof, and then I started not caring what anyone thought, and then I one time I was I dressed up like the police. I had this cute little police costume, and then I did another one. I just talked about whatever I wanted, and so that probably prepped me for being on here and just going full force and not caring, I guess.
I think I can confirm a parallel on that one. Yes, been podcasting, and then a good friend of mine and Rob's is a motivational speaker, says, "Hey, you should jump on this." I'm like, all right.
So where do you, just let's put the interview back to you.
Uh-oh.
Where are you, hello, where are you motivationally speaking, or when do you?
Usually on every podcast that I promote. I'm just now getting into it, and my mentor is basically helping me just run without the training wheels, so to speak. He doesn't believe in training wheels, period. Yeah. He's a tough love guy.
Oh, that's cool. Now, you, I know you just secretly, not so secret because you said it to us.
Yes, Heart Talks. I don't know about Bad Habits Network, though.
Yeah, no.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Okay. Anyway, so you had said something like you were working on some certifications, and I was really excited. I love it.
Oh, yes.
Growing, and you said you couldn't speak of it at the time, but at a moment you'll be sharing that stuff. So I'm happy for you.
Oh, no worries. And it will be shared. It's just there's a lot of things that have happened in the past where I'm very guarded on certain things.
Yeah.
Such as had a stalker or had some anti-terrorism training, and then compounding with that stalker, certain things have happened.
I know, dude, even I had a stalker, which is so weird. When I was a DJ, it's just like so bizarre. Like, what are people thinking? But
it's that adulation, or the dare I say the golden cow syndrome. Some people will, if you connect to them or get through to them like no one else has, congratulations, you're now their Madonna. Watch out.
Oh yeah. I'm really glad that I dispel all of those things really quickly. You have to talk to me a little bit longer. Like, oh no, I'm not that.
Parasocial. I'm getting told it's a parasocial relationship.
Okay, cool.
Which I'll have to look up that definition, because that's something I've not really studied on.
Yeah. For me, I kind of, my goal is, if I can make a difference, awesome. I don't kind of hold a lot of weight in what I'm able to do.
Nor do I.
Because, life is fragile. Everything I believe has divine order. And all the gifts that I have been given to me by God. So I just utilize them in the best way I think are working at the time. I ask for wisdom. I ask for divine downloads. I ask for wisdom, and then he allows me the humor side of, he might be giggling when I get unleashed. Like, oh, did we really give her that freedom?
Did somebody grab all 7 of the Dragon Balls and summon forth Robin?
Did someone do that? Yeah, actually, yeah. Did someone do that? And there we go. The beast get the welcome to the Kraken, or whatever that's called.
Oh yes. Release the Kraken.
Release the Kraken. Exactly.
So I'm actually getting asked to force Robin to explain Dick Bacon to the tens and tens of listeners of Bad Habits Network.
Okay, so one of the morning shows, because
oh boy.
So one of the morning shows, I'm walking around, like right now I've just been sitting, but I'm doing things. I got a lot of stuff going on, and I was cooking a couple pounds of bacon in the oven, and I might have said something or sent a photo. I might have sent a photo in the back chat, and then someone who remains nameless, I think it was you, said, "How do you like your bacon?" And I said, "Crisp, not wibbly like the dick." And what I meant is, like, if the dick is just not happy yet, it has this wibbly flow. And so I don't like my bacon wibbly dick bacon. So there you go, on Bad Habits Network. You guys asked for it, you got it. Wibbly dick bacon is not how I like to eat my bacon. Crisp, straight up, just like King James. That's how I like it.
And in future references of Heart Talks, this has been kind of a side running gag forever.
Forever, yeah.
And folks, if you do listen to Clubhouse at work, I recommend that you don't do it on speaker, and don't do it in front of your boss by accident, whether or not you think they're there.
I just got asked by Gary, where'd you go? I'm trying not to die by laughing right now. I'm sorry.
And that's the fun about Yay for Wiggly Dick Bacon.
Oh, Lisa, you're too much.
I love her.
She just wants dick. What? Who said that?
I know. She did. At least
she did. Who said that? She did. Damn it.
She did.
And again, folks, these are the Heart Talks rooms. I apologize for not asking permission on certain people to say, hey, can I talk about you on this show? But I apologize in advance, because some of this stuff is going to come up, and I'm not going to be able to control certain things, but
right.
I will highlight some individuals. I will not highlight some individuals because I'm afraid they're going to bite me after they wake up from hibernation. But one of them has volunteered to do little Billy Bear segments.
But Miss Lisa is in the room, and you know it. So there we go. Miss Lisa's in the room.
Yes.
So we can.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's told many anecdotes and has some great life experiences as well. And I always just out of nowhere get floored, because we'll be talking about one thing, and then somebody will bring up, oh no, this is a Tinder thing, blah blah blah. I was on Tinder the other night, blase blase blase, because I was looking for dick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh boy, I'm glad I have my headphones in.
Nothing better than honesty, though.
No, true. I love the honesty in the room, even if you're not ready for it.
Oh yeah.
Most of the time, who is ready for the honesty, though?
Good point.
But that's what's been fun, because even when we get people, and so this is the other thing. So
Yes, ma'am.
I've noticed that so Heart Talks came in, there was no rooms called Heart Nothing Nothing. Now there's called Heart Talkies, coffee and conversations. Like
they're popping up everywhere.
Oh my gosh. But what's funny is I've gone to go check out those rooms, and those people have come into our room and been in my room for a while, been in our room for a while, hung out, and then go and recreate. And so as I was raising my children, now 43 years plus, I would say copycat is the best form of flattery. So
yes.
I smile and just go, wow, that is so neat. Because like when I was doing, I've sold everything, and I was into skincare, and many people, have all kinds of brands or whatever. And I would say everyone who is meant for being in my business or my clients or buy my product or drive down my street and come to my house for dinner is meant to be. And there are a plethora of humans for all you all. And I don't ever create that element of the green monster, because if I resonate with you, that's awesome. If someone else does, that's awesome. But there is so much skin in the world, or there is so much love in the world, or there's so much people that need this kind of product, that the green monster just does not ride well in my energy, like, if that makes sense.
Well, it makes total sense, and I've heard you say several times if it resonates with you, and you'd be surprised on how many people actually resonate with the things that you talk about, skin products or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just actually, it's really inspiring, because, you could be, take this with a grain of salt. I'm not saying anything negative about you by any means, but you could just be an average person, and you have no idea the impact you have on another's life.
Especially when you bring up dick bacon.
Right?
Jesus, I can't do this right now.
Aren't you glad you're in Florida, not face to face right now, Rob?
Oh
God, I don't think I would actually ever be able to talk. I've been like holding back tears. I'm laughing so hard on some of these things. It's just ridiculous.
I'm having so much fun. Yeah, and the fun thing is King James has been able to roll and ride with all of it. We have so much fun.
Bless his heart.
No, seriously. He actually just came home. If you guys want to meet him, I don't know where he is, but
he's like, nope. She's on the phone again. I'm gonna go in the bedroom, maybe.
My kids are like, yeah, because I'll like say, hey, do you guys want, or hey, can we tell this story? Because I always want to ask permission. Can I tell this story, or can I do this? Because I really want to honor my humans. And then one time I'm telling this story about Robert David, my eldest, and then all of a sudden, all of his high school friends, it must have been high school, and all of his I said, hey, can I tell that story? And he goes, yeah. And then apparently there was part of the story he forgot, and then it got kind of like where it was embarrassing, and he's like, not that part. And I'm like, holy ass, can I tell this story? And that meant from the beginning to the end. So after that, I was always like, can I tell the story, the whole story, or part of it? Like, what fraction of it? But Jay, he's just such an amazing human.
I think you're going to have to introduce King James to the dem rolls.
Right? Let me see, because I know he went to go feed the animals out back. Let me see.
Right on. So, folks, as she's hunting down King James, I'm going to beseech you at the top of your screen. There it says from Bad Habits Network, Bad Habits Network, whatever. Right next to there's a green little housey thingy. Right there. No, right there. Right next to it. On the right. No, your military right. Your American right. Your human right. That one. Yes. Click on that. Follow us, join us, whatever, because we're going to be doing more of these weird diatribes via Clubhouse. Sometimes it's just going to be me and Rob. Sometimes it's going to be the Blown Pistons cast. Sometimes it's going to be maybe you. Who knows? I mean, after show, we could invite one of you guys up onto the stage, or just flood the gates and say, hey, how'd you think and what do you like and where can you make improvements, so on and so forth. Prime example, we actually had somebody in the audience, what a great audience, up on the stage after the Blown Pistons to give us her feedback. And mad shout out to that person, Kristen. I love it, love it, love it. The grown-up version of Dee from Dexter's Lab, as I like to call her. Plus,
you're not wrong.
Plus, there's going to possibly be a hello from Felicita.
So,
Felicita.
I found him. So here's King James. So this is Bad Habits Network. It's the podcast I've been talking on, and they want to meet you. So just say hey.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, King James.
King James, it's an honor to meet you. I don't know if I should bow or get on a knee.
Nice to meet you guys.
Rob, rule 8, either or. You got to do both.
Okay, well, I'll...
Fillet his highness, I guess. I don't know.
Wow.
Sorry, couldn't resist.
We went there.
Sorry, King James. Sorry, King James. I'm going to be beheaded.
No.
Well, we have heard so much about you through certain side conversations on Heart Talks, and I love how every morning Mama Robin sits there and says, "Hold on, guys, I'll be right back. I gotta send King James a farewell," and you'll hear it in the background because she forgets to mute her mic. Love you, honey. Mwah.
Yeah, that's every morning.
Kiss them before they leave, because you never know, that could be your last kiss. And if they go out the gate and you didn't, because you're a curmudgeon or what have you, it could be the last one. And is that what your mind wants to remember?
Absolutely, and that's another reason why I've adopted a long time ago. Tell your friends and family I love you frequently. Make it weird. Tell them often.
For sure.
And it does happen often.
Yes, it does.
You can never say I love you too much.
Especially to your friends and family, folks. Remember that.
Yeah, we even still hug and kiss our kids. And I think our foreign exchange son, Alexander, wanted to learn how my kids wanted to outlove us. That was one of the things they did with.
Okay, 2 things. 1, backstory. 2, you house foreign exchange students as well? Is there something you don't do?
No. No.
Yeah, we housed a foreign exchange student the first year we were married.
Three different, yeah.
Wow.
3 at one time or 3 throughout the year?
Three in that same first year.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Can we divulge further into questioning on this, please?
Yeah.
For sure. The one that we had living for us for a year, he was 17 and he had never said to his parents, I love you. And then during the Christmas break, on one of the conversations with his family, he said, I love you to his mom and dad. And mom and dad were so just in shock that they had to come to America to meet the family that changed their son so much.
Oh, that is fantastic!
Wow, that is amazing.
I'm getting a personal communique. May we ask the nationality of the first one that had the parents meet you?
The first 2 that we had were from first when Macedonia, Bulgaria was opened. We had those students. We had those students for a month, and that was a couple months after we had been married. And it was supposed to be, I felt bad for the lady. So I was like, okay, we'll do it. And then the next, Alexander's from Manish Dafour?
From Brazil.
Yeah.
His third one was from
Manish Dafour. And what happened was the lady called me. She goes, I know you just got rid of they were here for just a month. But we have this kid, this young man, he's coming from Brazil. The family, the host family, backed out because they were getting a divorce, and we just need someone temporary for 2 weeks.
So you foster a foreign exchange student program.
We did. We took him in, and
that's awesome.
Then when they were finding him a home, what did he say to us? Do you remember?
He said, how am I going to find a family that loves me this much?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he didn't want to go, and I said to him, because we were living in a 800 square foot tiny little duplex, and I said, Alexander, you could go to there's rich people out here. I said, you could go to a rich family and they will have so much money, they'll do all these things. And he was like,
Nope.
yeah, no. And he did. He's like, Mama, he goes, Mama, who will love me like you guys?
Aww.
And I went back to Jay and I go, I don't think Alexander wants to leave. So we do have that magic. We have a way of, when you come here, you kind of get adopted into this.
Gee, I don't know how I figured that one out.
Right. We have a lot of laughter, right? What is the thing you used to say, who sat on the Comedy Rock? Or we would start laughing so hard. So yeah, we do have a lot of fun. And so this is King James, my better half.
King James, before you meander away, my apologies. Is this the first clubhouse room that she's pulled you onto?
She's asked me questions here and there, but this is the first real discussion where they ask me questions.
Oh boy, I'm sorry. It's got to be us that pop your clubhouse virginity in this case.
I'm not at all. I hope that he continues to speak. I mean, listen, you guys as a couple, I guess you could say in a broad spectrum, you guys are like a power couple when it comes to bringing out different traits and different feelings for people. So keep up the work. Whatever you guys are doing, it's really working.
Just to know one of his talents, when you said pop the cherry, he can tie the cherry stem into a knot.
With my tongue.
With his tongue.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and there you go, folks.
There you go. Added talents. I tell you, he's pretty talented.
So it wasn't just his beautiful downstairs you fell in love with. Got it.
What did they tell you? You had pretty eyes.
Pretty eyes and a pretty penis.
Yeah.
So, folks, you heard it first. It's three things that I can't even talk. I'm so flabbergasted right now. What the heck?
Wait a minute. Did I get you flabbergasted?
Yes, you did, because I'm trying to race to the joke. It was the three main things in every relationship: eye contact, pretty pee-pee, and cunnilingus skills.
Right. Those are all.
You got to have great oral skills, be able to look at her, and have a great pee-pee, folks.
I think we found a new check episode.
No kidding. Except this one's a couples check episode.
It works, though.
Yes, it does. Oh,
my God.
He can tie a cherry stem in a knot. Well, can he breathe like Aquaman?
Awesome.
Oh, I think so.
Yes, I can hold my breath for a long time.
You
love
guys are my
this.
people.
I am never going nowhere. I love this. I am staying put. So, the lapidary stuff. Are you still very active in the high-end lapidary jewelry, sir?
Oh yes, been there for. Well, I started 42 years ago.
Oh wow! Is there anywhere we can check out your art online, or is there like a website you would like to promote for your shop or anything?
Well, we've never done our stuff, but you can check out the Glendora Gems Facebook page, and you can check out our shop. But any of the stuff that we have, we've never put it on sale. We have so much turquoise, you guys, that I was laying it out, and I was like, some of these pieces, one chunk is like $10,000, and I go, honey, let's sell some of these. And then he looked at all of them, and what did you say?
Why?
Why?
I was gonna say, so the turquoise. I know we're out in the middle of the Midwest in Wisconsin. Turquoise. Yeah, I know a bunch of bikers that would probably pick up some rings.
Yeah.
Just saying, I'm one of them.
Oh Oh, cool. So send us your finger size, and then I can show you some of the stuff that we've got already ready. But started fabricating in the barn when we had to close.
During COVID.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Understood. And I do have a 10-year-old girl who is very into lapidary, as well as Robin and King James know, because they actually, I sent pictures and they identified.
Yeah. Yeah. So the club, our rock club lapidary program is called Glendora Gems.
How do you spell that?
Facebook, Glendora, Glendora.
Okay, there it is.
GEMS, and that should show you pictures of our club, I think. Yes, and some of the videos that we've done. We're getting ready to video Mr. Bidwell because he's, how old is Mr. Bidwell? 82. And pretty deaf. So we're going to video him in doing instructional videos on all of the lapidary program, all the lapidary, what is it? All the lapidary what?
All the machines.
The machines, yeah. Can you tell I don't do that?
Not at all.
But so what are you going to do with Mr. Bidwell this week?
So we're going to take videos of the process of making cabochons, doing flats, and creating spheres. Because he's hard of hearing, and we need to be able to show these people. Now, Larry was my teacher back 42 years ago, and we still go to the program, and he's kind of like bequeathed it to us so that we'll run the program after he's done, he wants to retire.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
nice.
he's got a way of wanting everyone to learn the equipment. So our idea was, let's video him and then have the videos for people to go in our shop before they go on the lapidary, even though Jay, he's like amazing. He can do all of it. But in honoring Mr. Bidwell, that they would be able to see it how he likes it done, and he can talk and such. And so we're going to go videotape him this week.
Oh, that is awesome. And I am actually down the rabbit hole here. I am looking at a beautiful Agua Nueva agate slab. This is awesome, folks. If you guys even remotely like, for layman's terms, if you dig rocks, you'll love this stuff because this is awesome.
Yeah.
That's our motto it's Glendora Gems. We dig rocks.
I like it. I love it.
Dig rocks.
And then we have the other saying, hunt, find, and grind.
Yes, and that's where my son will probably be all about those videos too, because he's drawn to the geometric shapes, spheres, pyramids, diamonds, such like that. Not the diamonds, but the shape of diamonds. He's very into that, and the daughter wants to get into rock tumbling now. So, and I'm looking at this page, folks. If you don't go to Glendora Gems Lapidary Club, you are wrong, because even as of August 2nd, they have this amazing Sikhote Alin iron meteorite from Siberia. I've never even known this to be in existence, and I'm happy. These are things you'll see for the first time in your life.
Right. So the cool thing is, like we said, if you guys ever come to our club,
more like when.
Like when you come, the first night is on us. We always give guests to come, and we, what do you guys do with them? You
we make a flat and then get a cabochon started
the
first night.
So note to self, folks, save up your pennies for when we're open better and more exuberantly. Go to their site in California. Just look them up online. You got the address right there. Hook it up. Go to their shop, guys.
Yeah, we have it's a 4,000 square foot shop where we have diamond saws ranging from 8-inch all the way to 36-inch.
Oh boy!
Numerous grinding machines, numerous sphere machines, flat laps, faceting machines, all the stuff to do silver and gold fabrication.
Oh, this is. I cannot wait to see what you guys do in the future. I am on point with you guys. I love this.
Yeah, and then you can come sit with me, and I can help you wire wrap something.
Oh, I have already a little business for you in the side here. I have my chakra rocks or chakra rocks.
Awesome. That'd be cool.
I would love to have that made into like some kind of weird necklace thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I made this really cool thing for an eye to put on the third eye for this one healer woman. And then so this is the thing.
Sorry. The back
What?
channel distracted me with Felicita and Lisa.
Oh,
You hear that, Lisa? 36-inch grind.
right. I said that's what she said.
Oh, no.
But some of those healer people, when you tell them this is how much it costs for me to do that, then they go, "Oh, I don't have any money," and I'm like, oh, "Okay, well then you're."
Then
healing.
we don't have any talk.
Right, but I already made it, so I gave it to her.
Aww.
I do a lot of, but I've learned to not do it as much.
So
I don't give away his turquoise anymore. That's for sure.
absolutely.
No,
So-
he was really nice though. He's like, "Please don't do that again."
Right on. So, Robin, we're at the, as you would put it, middle of the hour.
Yeah.
So, where can we find King James on the line? Does he have any personal profile work he'd like to promote?
No,
No.
we do everything.
I do heating and air conditioning in Southern California, and I work 40 hours a week for somebody, and then I run my own service on the side, so I stay pretty busy.
Yeah.
Right on. And our lovely Anna says, yeah, turquoise is not free.
Not anymore. After I got warned very gently.
Yes.
I think it was a travel channel did a series called the Turquoise Hunters, and it found a family that mines turquoise out of Tonopah, Nevada, and one member of our club became friends with those people, and before COVID, we were able to go and dig for the turquoise on their claim.
Two different ones,
different
right?
claims.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And how many pounds did we bring out of?
Well, we brought back 400 pounds, but it wasn't all 400 pounds of turquoise because the turquoise is intermixed in the host rock. Anywhere can be from, an eighth of an inch to quarter, half inch thick in the host rock.
But you can do a lot with the eighth of an inch, can't you?
Can't.
Rob, shut up.
Nobody really can.
No.
It doesn't go out very far.
Oh, it's not very far.
I'm waiting for Rob to light me up on this one.
No. I'll leave it alone on this one.
Okay.
We'll wait until we get our own chat or next Monday when we get on our own show.
Yeah.
You guys, so this is King James, who was teaching my 11-year-old son how to do things that they did, him and his best friend, when they were young. So I don't think anything is going to shock King James, to be quite honest with you. Right?
Give it time.
Yeah.
Give it time.
You guys have been with me 31 years.
Okay, good point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good
Yeah.
point. Good point. You get me to laugh where I cry and blush where I bleed.
We got thrown out of Lawrence Welk.
What?
The Lawrence Welk Resort.
What?
We went for one of those freebie things where you go listen to their spiel, and
But wait, it's your fault because you set it up.
well, I set it up, and she didn't come with the ID, and she's like, "What? I don't look like I'm over 30?" And she was dressed in leather, like she looked kind of like Billy Idol, but in a female version. And
Oh, no.
she started talking and saying shit to the other patrons who were coming in, and that's when they called security.
But then when the security was behind me, what did I say?
She was like, "Don't follow me. I can follow you out, okay?"
I don't need you to be behind me. Get in front of me. But it was okay. I was old. I'm how many? 7 years.
6.5 years.
I'm older than this guy, and he's the one that set it up. And somehow I lost. I don't know. I didn't have an idea. It wasn't important. Like back then, it wasn't that important. And I'm like, I'm older than him. Look at me. And they didn't care.
No.
Well, at least you can take away a compliment. I mean, you didn't look your active age for that.
I guess I looked like I was a badass in my left. Oh, and I had boots with spurs and chains, and so I probably looked
rough.
I probably looked
little BDSM-ish.
Probably kind of that way.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, then no.
But it was cute. It was cute. Yeah. But yeah.
Still are today.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So
yeah, had some fun through the 31 years.
Right on. And I know Robin's probably got a whole bunch of phone calls coming her way here soon because she is a very busy lady. She is an energy coach, a jewelry designer, artist, teacher, lapidary speaker, motivational speaker, life coach, and a big mama bear to all of us.
Love you so much.
Where can we find Robin on the Instagram?
Instagram, my one for Clubhouse is Purple Nana Bear. Someone talked me into that name. So it's Purple Nana Bear.
Yes.
And that's my Instagram for Clubhouse. And then, like I told you guys, my wonky videos on my Mama Heart.
Oh, I'll be sharing them.
Yeah.
Stay tuned to Bad Habits Networks for that one.
Oh my gosh. So if you go all the way back, that's the one that I look super high, even though I wasn't, but I have this passion of like, if I could just, if I like talk to someone and change one person, like that's all, like I was all deep and stuff. I have no idea what the hell I was thinking, but it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. But it's now I can laugh at it. And yeah.
So, folks, I'm going to cut the recording here. Stay tuned. We're going to invite some people up on stage for a little bit of listener feedback with Mama Robin's permission, of course.
Yeah. Say goodbye, Jason.
Goodbye, everyone. Nice
Good night.
I've no more fucks to give. My fucks have runneth dry. I've tried to go fuck shopping, but there's no fucks left to buy. I've no more fucks to give. No more fucks I've tried to get. I'm